Hello everyone, welcome to UNC virtual class. And today's lectures I am going to discuss one of the very important core part of the ARM procedure fields, that's your ARM data transfer instructions. So here is an abstract outlines which I will discuss in today's class one by one. So now to start our initial concept, what is data transfer instructions? In general way, the data transfer instructions one of the particular techniques through which if the program were to be needed for its job executions by using ARM procedure through holding the memory and registers, in this case we have used the data transfer instructions. That means in case of ARM procedure, as we know, the all over the job to be executed by using three concepts. First one is the data processing concept, and another one is the data transfer concept, and another one is the data control mechanisms. In previous class already I have to explain how you have to execute it all over the data on the format of assembly code through the help of register to register by using your data processing concept. But in case of data transfer instructions, it provides if the program were to be needed for its executions any types of data elements through the help of registers and vice versa your memory, that to be possible by using your data transfer instructions. That means in single word if we explain what is data transfer instructions, that means in this case all over the job and instructions that to be executed in between your register to memory and memory to registers. It will supports both load and store architectures. So that is to be called as data transfer instructions. Okay. So now goes to the next concept, that's your data transfer instructions types. That means here the data transfer instructions to be provides different types of mechanisms how all over the data elements that to be momentum from register to memory and memory to register for performing their objective executions. For performing its executions. So what are they? The first one is that's your single register load and single register load and store mechanisms That means here in case of single register load and store mechanisms, it to be provides when the program was to be executed any types of job or any types of instructions. In this case every data that to be inserted one by one by using the registers or memory. That means in this case all over the data that to be executed sequentially one after another, and simultaneously you cannot be offload multiple number of registered data for the job executions. As we know, in case of assembly code it to be provides two of course. One is LDR, that means whenever the programmer to be fetching some data from memory to register any types of job manipulation, in this case we have to use LDR opcodes through which only one registered data that to be stored and also one registered data that to be offloaded. Okay, that means here the load of course to be provides only one data which is to be fetched from the memory to registers. Okay, now goes to the second commands, that's your STR. That means this of course to be used when the programmer to be interpreting all over the logical expressions in between the registers. But if the programmer to be needed for storing all over the data from register to memory and permanent natures, here the programmers to be use the store of course. So by using load, LDR and store commands, we have to insert different types of data elements one after another. But as we know, in case of ARM data transfer instructions, here every instruction size by default 32 bit on word format. That means here all over the data also to be inserted on 32 bit format, or maybe that to be 16 bit format, that's your half word, or maybe that to be provides on 8 bit format, that's your byte. But whenever we have to inserted the data on 32 bit format, here we have to writing the of course that's your LDR for the data loading mechanisms and the STR for the data store mechanisms. What? Whenever the program ought to be needed for storing all over the data on the format of 16 bit or half word format, here the given of course to be rewritten as the format of LDRH. H means that's your hexadecimal format whose base elements that's your 0 to 15 and also the range elements is 16 bit. Okay. For data storing on the format of half word, that to be rewritten, so of course that's your STRH. Okay, but if the program were to be needed for inserting the data elements on the 8-bit format, so how all over the 8-bit data that to be interpret by using the given LDR and STR of course. In this case, the program were to be writing the elements, the of course elements that sure LDRB. Okay, LDRB, that means you have to loading some data from memory to register on 8-bit format. After that, another of course that's to be used, that's your STRV, that means store write, that means you have to interpreting whatever the data you have to compressing on the format of write, then you have to storing all over the data from register to memory. So in case of single registers, that we uses different types of opcode for data loading for the job executions. Okay, that's your single register load and store mechanisms. So now to check how the programs to be rewritten on the format of assembly level language by using the single register load and store mechanisms. In general way, whenever we have to execute any types of data elements by using your assembly level code format, in case of data transfer instructions, as it provides the data to be held in between the register to memory and memory to registers, so it supports indirect direct addressing modes. So how that to be rewritten on the format of assembly codes? If we have to rewritten these expressions on the format of assembly code, first we have to writing the of course, after that we have to writing the destination location. Suppose here the destination location one type of registers, then the source location one type of memory register data that sure R1. Okay, that means here whenever we have to rewriting these expressions defines whatever the data that to be stored in between your memory location of R1, that to be exchanged, that to be movable and register R0 locations. That means here the data transfers to be possible in between your memory to registers. So how that to be rewritten is, that means here R0 equal to that's your memory of 32 of R1 locations. Okay, that means all over the data you have to fetching and that to be stored in between your R0 locations. Similarly, how the store commands to be rewritten? In case of store commands, we have to use the opcode str. Similarly, it to be consisting of one destination locations, that's your R0, and the source locations, that's your R1. But what is the expressions meanings? As we know, the store commands to be used whenever the interpreting results to be possible in between your registers. Then after that, if the program were to be required for storing all over the data on future reference from register to memory, here we have used the store command. That means how this expression should to be defined on the format of mathematicals. That means here memory of 32 R1 data that to be storing all over the executing or interpreting data of register R0 locations. That means here the data to be held in between your register to memory. Okay, so this is the expression format of single register load and store architectures. So now to check how we have to rewriting one program by using your single register load and store architectures. For examples, suppose here the programmers to be executing any types of programs elements for transmitting some data from memory to register and register to memory. That means here some data already to be existing in between your any locations, but at the time of executions the programmer to be needed for data loading, and also after loading data it to be again restored on the memory locations. So how that to be possible? First, that means you have to first retrieving all over the existing data. That means you have to assigning some data. Here for creating any types of relative address, you have to use the of course that's your ADR. That means addressing the relative data. Suppose ADR that to be consisting of one destination registers that sure are 0. Then after that it to be holds one type of particular locations through which the data to be assigning. That means here the table 1 to be consisting some data elements that to be now assigning in between your register R0 locations. That means here all over the word data that to be transmitted, some word data that to be transmitted to R0 registers. Okay, then now again another types of table data we have to addressing that's relative location on R1 location. That means another register location. Suppose another one table data that to be presents and that all over the what data we have to readdressing on location R1. That means another what data that to be stored in between your R1 locations. Okay, so now we have used the concept of load and store architectures. That means now we have to fetching some data from the output screens. After processing all over the output screen data, you have to again reloaded all over the data on memory locations. So how that to be possible? First we have to fetching some data. So in this case, how we have to fetching the some data? By using your load command. That means your command is LDA. Okay, so now load, then after that you have to writing another types of registers, that's your R2. Now R2 comma R0. That means here whatever the data you have to addressing from the table 1, that means whatever the what data that to be transmitting on the location R0, that to be now fetching from memory to location of register 2. That means here the R2 data to be stored all over the data elements of the register R0 locations. That means whatever the data we have to retrieving from memory locations. Again now we have used the store command, that's your STA. That means where we have to store all over the data elements. Here the table 1 is the source location and the table 2 is the destination locations. That means in case of table 2 we have to storing all over the executing data. So now in this case the executing data to be stored in between the register R2. So now all over the R2 data that to be stored on location of R1. That means whatever the data relating data. That means here the store commands to be provides all over the expression data, whatever the data R0 data to be retrieving and that to be stored in between the register R2. Now all over the register R2 data that to be stored on location of R1. That means here memory location of R1 that to be holds the data of register R2. That means all over the interpreting data. So here the table 1 we have to assigning for the source registers and the table 2 that's to be assigning destination locations. Okay, so this is the general expressions how we have to adding some data from the existing data elements by using your load and store mechanisms. So this is your single register load and store mechanisms. So now if any user to be needed, whatever the data you have to once loaded, after that again you have to need for adding some new data from the existing code. That means suppose here you have to store the data elements. In case of table 1 you have to store one data value, that's your RAM. Okay, that means the R0 register that to be holds one data, that's your RAM. After that another types of registers you have to assigning, that's your R1 relative addressing R1, which is to be normally declared for the destination locations. After that you have to use the load command. When you have to return the load command, load R2, R0, that means here the R2 to be holds whatever the data to be stored in between the R0 locations. That means here the R0 to be stored the data elements RAM. Okay, now you have to need it for storing this data on memory location, so that you have to rewriting the commands STA R2 R1. That means now also the memory location of R1 that to be holds the data elements RAM. What? Now in these positions another programmer to be needs for adding some other data. Suppose in case of RAM another user to be needed for embedding another types of word, that's your SAM. So how RAM SAM strings to be possible by using your assembly codes. How that to be possible? As we know, if we have to needed for concatenating or combining any types of data from one opcode to another opcode, so in this case we have used one opcode, that's your to be add. So we have to use add R1. That means initially all over the data elements that to be stored in between your location R1. That means if we have to needed for performing all over the data manipulation, so first we have to rewriting the R of course, then R1, then again R1, then has 4. So what is the meaning of 4? That means in this case, whenever we have to adding some data value from the existing data value, it always to be containing what data elements. So word and the format that to be rewritten on the format of numerical, that's your 4 byte. So we have to use that's your immediate 4 byte elements. That means here this expressions to be defined, you have to add another word. That means here you have to add the word that's your Sam. That means now you have to adding some data value in case of register R1 locations. Okay, that means here the register R1 locations that to be stored some data. Where that to be stored? That to be stored in between your memory locations. But as I know all over the data that to be viewing their outcomes on the above part of the registers. That means always the data to be executed in between your registers. So for fetching that data we have to use another commands, that's your load LDA. Then you have to fetching the data. So where you have to fetching, also the R1 is the that's your destination locations. If in this case we have to use again the location that's your R1, then you have to use the locations that's your memory of R1. That means all over the data, whatever the data that to be stored on location of the register R1 of the memory, that to be normally transfer all over the data elements on the register location of the R1. That means here the R1 to be used for the memory location, here the R1 to be used for the register locations. So by using this format, we have to repeatedly changeable all over the register value one by one. So finally the desired outcomes that to be provided, that's your RAM SAM that to be stored in between your location register R1. So this is the format of single register load and store architectures. Now goes to the next concept. As already I have to explain the data transfer instructions to be possible in 3 ways. The first one is the single register load and store architectures. Now goes to the second concept. The second concept to be provides multi-registers data transfer instructions. Multiple register data transfer instructions. That means if the programmers to be needed for executing large amount of data in between different registers on simultaneously ways, that to be also possible. That means suppose here in this case the processor to be processing any types of data by consisting multiple number of register for storing all over the status information about the process, like your process state, like your process starting executions, and like your process elements, secure elements, like your process authentication state, all over the internal events whatever to be occurs in between your processors, that to be contains on different register for efficient job manipulations. So here the processors to be use multi-register data transfer instructions. That means in this case, if the programmer to be needed for performing any types of manipulations, if the programmer to be requires at a time simultaneously that to be insert 2 number of data. That means here you have to insert the data one by one. First you have to insert the data register R0, then you have to enter the register R1. But in this case it to be provides if the programmer to be needed for inserting at a time multiple number of registered data, that to be possible. So how that to be possible? It provides one of course, that's your LDA MIA. That means by using load multiple instructions at a time, you have to provide multiple number of data. That means at a time you have to fetching in between a memory location 2 registers multiple number of data in independent ways. And in this case, how that to be expressed on the assembly code format? In this case, first we have to rewriting the opcodes. Here the opcode is LDA MIA. Then after that the destination location, that's your R0. Then as it provides multiple number of data, we have to fetching. So in this case the set symbols that's to be used, that's your R2, R3, R4. That means here the register R2 that to be stores all over the data elements locations of the memory of 32 of R0 locations, and the register R3 that to be holds the next word of the register R0 location. So how that to be rewritten? That to be rewritten R0 plus 4. That means here the addressing to be identified the next word by using your #4, that's your 4 byte. Now how the R4 data to be executed? Here the R4 registers to be holds memory location of R0 register of 8. That means the next word elements. So this is the expression format of multi-register data transfer instruction execution whenever we have to needed for data fetching from memory to registers. Now the question arises how we have to storing multiple number of resultant data in between your memory locations. So same in this case it uses one of course that's your store MIA. That means store multiple number of instructions at a time by using multiple number of registers. So how that to be possible? In this case also we have to rewriting first the of course, then the destination locations, then after that in between your curly braces multiple number of registers we have to assigning by using your subscript symbols. That's your R2, R3 and R4. So this is the expression of store multiple instructions. That means for all over the execution data that to be held in between a register to memory locations. Okay, so this is the expression of the multiple register data transfer instructions. Sometimes in case of multiple data transfer instructions, in case of assembly code that to be uses one stack register elements. So by using stack register elements whenever we have to execute any types of codes, in this case the multiple number of registers if that to be appearing on continuous way, so in this case that to be represented on the format of that sure R0, then after that in between your curly braces if all over the register that to be continuously flow and sequence wise by using its indexing address wise, in this case that sure R2 up to R9. That means here it contains the register R2, R3, R4, R5, R6 as so on up to R9. That means all over the register that to be continuously offloaded in between your register R0 locations. So here it uses the stack concept. Okay, so this is all about multi-register data transfer instructions. And in case of data transfer instructions, another facilities that to be provides. If the programmer to be needed any single register data to be swapping from register to memory and memory to registers, that to be possible. So it provides another types of concept. So what is it? That's your single registers swapping, load and store architectures. So what is the meaning of single register swapping load and store mechanisms? In this case it provides if any types of existing data that to be already available in between your memory locations, but at the time of job processing two instructions that to be required the same data elements. That means here some deadlock to be appears. For avoiding all over the deadlock, if the programmer to be needed for using the semaphore concept and also mutual exclusion concept, in this case we have used the single register swapping load and store architectures. That means when any one of the functions that to be properly executed their job, after that if the job to be released the different types of data whatever to be required for another job executions, then the second job to be access it and also reuse it. So that in this case we have used the single register swapping load and store mechanisms. It to be provides one of course that's your SWA. That means you have to swapping SWA or SWP. By using this of course we have to exchanging some data from register to memory or memory to register when the semaphore or mutual exclusion concept to be appears. That means some deadlock to be appears. In this case we have used the SWA concept. So this is all about for the today's class. If any doubt or any conflict in your mind, then you can ask me with the help of comment box. That's all. Thank you.